Hello class. Today we're doing a review, and we're doing a review of the order of operations. So your essential question, how do I apply the order of operations? Your learning intention, I'm learning what the order of operations is and how to apply the rules. You've got 4 warm-up questions. These deal with fractions. So please pause the video and see if you can do the, the warm-up questions on your own. Well, I hope you tried. When you're adding or subtracting fractions, you have to have that common denominator. So the denominator is that number at the bottom. If they're not the same, you have to create equivalent fractions. I've got 3 and I've got 6. I know that 6 divides evenly by 3. 6 divided by 3 is 2. So I can use that factor of 2 to create the equivalent fractions. 2 over 3 equals something over 6. Well, 3 times 2 equals 6. 2 times 2 equals 4. 2 divided by 2 is 1. So what I'm really doing is multiplying by a factor of 1. When you multiply by 1, nothing changes. So 2/3 is equal to 4/6. Now, you've got that common denominator and you can combine the top numbers by addition. 4 plus 5 is 9. The 6 does not change. The 6 is the same. But now, can I simplify? Well, 9 and 6 have a factor of 3. So 9 over 6, 9 divided by 3 is 3. 6 divided by 3 is 2. Once again, we're dividing by a factor of 1, which means nothing changes. Okay, looking at the next one, the same thing happens. I've got a 4, I've got an 8. 8 divided by 4 is 2. So I know that if I use 2, I can create those common denominators. Okay, what do I multiply 4 by to get 8? I multiply it by 2. 5 times 2 gives me 10. 10 over 8 minus 7 over 8. 10 minus 7 is 3, so that's 3 over 8. This time I cannot simplify. 3 and 8 have no common factors, so I'm done. Now, when you multiply, you don't have to worry about common denominators because you multiply straight across. Now I'm going to look and I'm going to think. I've got 2 and on my numerator, I've got 8 in my denominator. I know that 8 will divide evenly into 2. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. 8 divided by 2 is 4. The same thing happens with the 3 and the 9. 9 divided by 3 is 3. So 9 divided by 3 is 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. Now I'm ready to multiply straight across. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 3 is 3. And I'm done. You do not divide by a fraction. You multiply by the reciprocal. So instead of dividing by that fraction, I'm going to multiply. So 6 over 7 times 14 over 3. Once again, I'm multiplying by the reciprocal. That's where you turn that fraction upside down. Okay, 6 is divisible by 3. 6 divided by 3 is 2. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 14 is divisible by 7. 14 divided by 7 is 2. 7 divided by 7 is 1. 2 times 2 is 4. 1 times 1 is 1. 4 divided by 1 is simply 4. So, when you're multiplying or dividing, you do not have to worry about the common denominator. When you're adding and subtracting, you've got to have that common denominator. And that brings us down to PEMDAS, or the order of operations. What do you do first? P stands for parentheses. Okay, next, the E stands for exponents. The MD stands for multiplication and division. Now, it doesn't matter. They're considered equal. So when you're doing, after you've done the parentheses and exponents, if you see multiplication in the equation first, you multiply. If you see division, then you divide. Okay, that's why I put the double arrow here to show you that it doesn't matter. They're of equal value, so you do whichever one you see first. Likewise, AS is addition, and subtraction. Okay, so how do you apply these rules? Well, we will look at these examples next. Okay, so how do we apply the order of operations? So we check each step. Do I have parentheses? No. Do I have exponents? No. Do I have multiplication or division? Yes. So I've got 72 divided by 9. Is that an even number? Well, 7 plus 2 is 9. And we know that 9 is divisible by 9, so 72 is divisible by 9. 72 divided by 9 would be 8, plus 7, and that gives you 15. For the next one, do we have parentheses? Yes. So we combine in the parentheses first, and we've got 6 plus 7 is 13, so it's 3 times 13. 13 times 3 would be 10 times 3 is 30, 3 times 3 is 9, 30 plus 9 is 39. Okay, on the next one, do we have parentheses? No. Do we have exponents? No. Do we have multiplication or division? Yes. So we've got both we don't have multiplication or division, but we've got both addition and subtraction. So what do we do first? Well, we do what we see first. So 9 plus 8 is 17. 17 minus 7 is 10. Okay, for the last one on this page, are there parentheses? No. Are there exponents? No. Is there multiplication or division? Yes. I've got 32 divided by 4. Nine minus 32 divided by 4 is 8. And that equals 1. So if you're still struggling, back the video up and watch the first page again. If not, keep going. Okay, so explain what we just did. I want you to take a minute and think about the process. What was the first thing we did? What was the second thing we did? Well, first we looked for parentheses, then exponents, then multiplication or division, and finally we look for addition or subtraction. First, look for those parentheses. Second, look for exponents. So if it's a to the x, this here is your exponent. Third, look for multiplication or division. And then do them in order. And finally, it's addition or multiplication. Addition or subtraction. Once more, in order. Whichever you see first is what you're going to do. So, check for parentheses. Then look for your exponents. Look for multiplication or division and do in the order you see it. Finally, addition or subtraction, once again, in the order that you see it. So, let's take a minute and look at the next one. I want you to think, what do we do first? Underline, circle, or highlight what we do first. Well, if you highlighted, underlined, circled 10 times 5, you're correct. There are no parentheses, no exponents, but there is multiplication. 7 plus 10 times 5 is 50 plus 10. Okay, now what do we do next? We do it in order. 7 plus 5 is 57, or 7 plus 50 is 57, plus 10. 57 plus 10 is 67. Okay. For the next one, pause the video and decide what you do first. Highlight, underline, or circle. If you highlighted or underlined or circled 5 minus 3, you are correct. 40 divided by 4 minus 5 minus 3 is 2 is equal to. Okay. Now what do we do? If you said divide by 4, 40 divided by 4, you're correct. 40 divided by 4 is 10, minus 2. 10 minus 2 would be 8, and we're done. Okay, what most students don't realize, that fraction bar is the same as putting parentheses around both of these. So you're thinking about parentheses. You have to do the top of your parentheses and the bottom of the fraction bar at the same time. So I'm looking at 43 minus 1 is 42, over 4 plus 2 is 6, plus 10. Once again, you've got the fraction bar. So you've got to do your fraction first. 42 divided by 6 is 8. 8 plus 10 is 18. Okay, for the last one, we've got parentheses, so we start with the parentheses. We've got addition and subtraction. We start with the addition. Six plus 25 is 31. Minus 7. Then I divide by 6. But I still have parentheses. So, 31 minus 7. That would be 24. Divided by 6, and you end up with 4. So make sure you understand the processes. Take your time. Think about the order in which you have to do the math. And how do you know when you're successful? You know you're successful when you can solve problems using order of operations. So this is the first day of order of operations.